on the offensive side of the ball, and you'll have Clayton Thorson on your right here. Dickerson, we'll straight to questions with us soon after.
Clayton, in general, you take some pride in coming this close.
I mean, we would have liked to win. We felt like we should have won that game. That's a very good team. Give them the credit. They made another play than us. But, like Coach said, there's no moral victories. I mean, we want to win. And, yeah.
I completely agree with Clayton. We went in there trying to win that game. Nobody cares how close you came to winning. Care about if it's a W or L. So,
Playing over the past month, the offense especially making strides during October, especially. Looking back on this month now, even though we had the loss today, what kind of were the biggest takeaways you could take from October as the season moves into November and December?
I think our offense has gained a lot of confidence. I think we realized we can beat some really good teams, and obviously the loss today, but we've realized we're a good offense. And from the outside going into the season and after those first few games, we were hearing the opposite of that, and we just had to shut it out, and that's what we did. That's what we've done, and that's what we're gonna continue just to work at it and get better. Because as you saw, we had first down at their 4-yard line twice and came away with field goals. And we can't have that. We got to score. We got to put points on the board.
Is there anything that you've seen on the offense and how it's kind of progressed over the past month?
I really agree with Clayton. We're just starting to get more confident. We're just starting to perfect our craft and, trying to do everything we can to get ready for that next week's game. And, we're coming in, fighting, ready to go and practice. We definitely have a focus about us, which is great. But, just trying to get ready for the next game.
Clayton had the first and goal down there right toward the end of the game. So can you run us through a couple of plays? The first play, was that an option?
Yeah, I just ran around the outside, and I got made a play, 24. Obviously he keyed on me a few times, and he's a good player. And he came up and made a big play when they needed it. And, a few other times we just gotta put it in. Obviously tried a little trick play there. Didn't work out. It was close, though. But, we got to find ways to put the ball in the end zone down there.
Was any Fitz faced a tough decision there? I mean, it's 4th and 15.
Right.
But a field goal doesn't do too much for you.
Right.
Was there any talk about maybe, hey, let's try to score?
I think the coaches handled that. We were just out there. If they gave us a green light, we'd do it. But if not, we wouldn't. So, yeah.
It was really just a flow of the game thing. I was ready to, come in and do whatever I needed to do to help my team win. And, it just happened that, Clayton was throwing the ball to me, a couple more times than everybody else. I was just ready to do whatever I needed to help us win.
You guys amazed how Austin can get separations off this.
It's impressive, but we've been seeing it for a long time. And we expect it now. And I think he expects it. And, I think anything less, he wouldn't be playing up to his potential. He's a great player, and we got to continue to give him the ball.
Yeah, over the season, as teams have obviously taken notice of what Austin's doing and trying to key on him, especially in the slot. Are you seeing more opportunities for yourself as linebackers and safeties more focused maybe on Austin coming out of the slot where you're kind of operating in the middle of the field as well?
I guess. I mean, it's really just depending on what we see as a defense. Clayton's gonna read the defense and make the throw. And decide. Based on that defense, who's going to get the ball. So, it's kind of just whatever the play is.
Any benefits to having Matt come in there for play here and there?
Yeah, just a little change up. He obviously is a very good quarterback, and just kind of keep teams guessing. And we got a lot of weapons on offense, so we want to use them. And so, yeah, it's good.
For both of you guys, against a team like Ohio State, which has won a national championship recently, and coming into this week, seeing what Penn State did last week, and with how well you guys played this week, do you ever think, or do you guys think that they could win us too?
Yeah, I think we definitely do. And, those first few games of the season, come out, lose to Western Michigan, didn't show up against Illinois State, but the credit to those two teams are very good, and lost to a good Nebraska team as we've seen. We got to show up for every game, and we got to come ready to go, not just in practice, but ready to go, and we got to do it every game of the year. It doesn't matter who we're playing. It's easy to come and show up for Ohio State, you know what I mean, or a Michigan State or an Iowa. We got to show up every game, and it's really biting us in the butt right now. We're a 4-4 football team. We're a 500 football team, and we know we shouldn't be.
Kind of same thing. We definitely feel that we should be, or we definitely know that we're much better than our record shows. And, we just got to come and bring it every game. And we kind of got off to a rocky start. Some things weren't going our way, but, now we're trying to bounce back and, get back on track so, we can get back to being that high caliber team that we are, and we know we are.
Fitz was talking about next Saturday, and this year you play in front of 100,000+, and he said we have to get our fans to show up, our students to show up. What would it mean, to get a better house there for an 11 a.m. game at home against Wisconsin?
I think it would be helpful. Obviously, last year we won in Wisconsin. The way we won, I think they're going to come ready to go, and I don't even know what time it is right now, but I know they're about to play. They got a big game tonight too, and so we got to come ready to go because we know they will. I don't know if obviously it's great having support at home, and we've had some good support at home, but we got to continue to bring that.
Garrett, can it make a difference if you have a better house?
Yes and no. We're not really focused on things like that. We're focused on the play, the here and now. So we're focused on ourselves and just trying to go out and do everything we need to do to get that win. So trust me, we love to have a packed house full of purple, but we're not really too worried about something like that.
Yeah, but that being said, we do need those fans, man.
Yeah.
They are big
Come
for
on.
us. They've been showing out, so continue to show out.
Anything else, guys? Guys, how do you make sure, the saying is never get too high, never get too low? What's the next 24 hours like for you guys? Do you flush it? Do you think about it? And that's how do you move forward from kind of a real tough loss here?
We always say we got a 24-hour rule. So we'll watch the film, get better, go over with the coaches on Monday. But after I watch it tomorrow morning, it's on to Wisconsin. And if you look in the rearview mirror in the Big Ten, you're going to get your butt kicked. And Wisconsin's a very good team, another top 10 team. So we'll watch it, learn from it. But
Yeah, without a doubt. This definitely sucks right now. Especially because we were right there. But we got to move on. Like Clayton said, we got another top 10 opponent coming up this week in Wisconsin. So we got to think about it, watch the film, see what we can correct, and get ready for Wisconsin.
What's that, guys? Thank you.